So if you're like me, you're probably asking yourself, why all the pyramids? Why all the tetrahedrons? Why all the water molecules, ships, stars, reactors, people worshiping the sun, the water, gods, aliens walking around with advanced technology in their hands? Don't get it. Maybe something we missed. Traveling to the stars on ships, in water, on water. This is all evidence of an advanced hydrogen civilization. You can't miss it. It's right in front of your very eyes, like a lot of things. If you're worshiping stars and the sun and the water, like it or not, you're a hydrogen civilization. That's what these things are made of. And you got to remember how the energy's stored here on Earth. All these atoms that you see here, every known atom in the universe that we know of, it's all stored from sunlight. That's how this stuff got here. That's how it got this shape. Think of how this crystal got this shape, before I got it in my time. Think of how it was made. So it's just stored sunlight. That's what the water is, stored sunlight, hydrogen and oxygen. See, the energies are stored here in many different forms. So you need to learn a little bit about why you're seeing these tetrahedrons, these molecules. You got to remember shapes, the shapes of the atoms, the shapes of the molecules. Learn a little bit about cinematics. Tetrahedrons, Ohm's law, resistance, water molecules and their tetrahedron structure. I'm trying to point all this out to you. I'm going to lead you to some other channels that'll help you out. Where's everybody going in the boats? To the stars? That's what the image says. So energy and mass is just light stored. Something to think about. Look how much energy is stored in the water. Look at all the other forms. Light can be controlled and manipulated. All the forms in nature, all the way up to uranium, neptunium, plutonium, all the higher stuff. Higher elements, the heavier elements. Something to think about. So you can see the shape of the water molecule is very important down at the atomic level. It's a tetrahedron. Okay, that's very important. We're going to take a look at some of this stuff here, and I'm going to explain to you why you're seeing all these pyramids. All this pyramids and tetrahedrons and water molecules and all this stuff. I'm going to show you how all this stuff adds up together in the best way I can here. Now, if you understand Einstein's simple equation here, I tried to explain this in another video, there can be no reality, no creation without the combination of energy, mass, and light. Okay, that's kind of what that equation shows you, the energy that's locked up in all the solid things around us as energy and mass. Okay, that's what that is. I'm trying to show that to you, explain a little bit, because I'm going to show you some other stuff. The light is both a wave and a particle. And that's a problem with us physicists. And if you've ever heard of the double slit experiment, where it shows that light's both a wave and a particle, when you go look at electromagnetic radiation, and you'll see that it does have both properties. So that means it can do martial arts on pool tables, and then it can float through walls. So it does wavy things like a wave, but it also does particle things like a solid piece of mass. So it's a very strange thing about light, that a lot of people really don't know what light is. So you gotta ask yourself, why do you see all these people traveling to the stars on boats and water? I mean, these images are very clear. Very clear images you can see from Egypt, Anybody can go find this stuff. There's H2O everywhere you look. There's water molecules, people collecting energy from the sun with water. I don't even know if that's a person. I mean, this is our hidden past that we're looking at here. That's these solar barges. you know, people working with fuel cells. You can clearly see this stuff. The sun being captured, the rays of the sun, you know, working with electrons and atoms. I mean, a picture's worth 1,000 words. I'm doing the same thing here. But if you think about this, when God said, you know, when God said, let there be light, okay, and you have those excited electrons and photon energy was created, and then bang, you had all the energy and mass was created. The photon energy brought together the energy of the mass and the creation of life. I'm going to show you how some of this in this quick video, how all this is relevant. Ohm's law, resistance, pyramids, tetrahedron structures, you know, Egypt, lights, all this stuff. I'm going to show you how all this is relevant. Because a lot of it is very strange, but some of it you can't deny. It's right there in front of your face. So we'll get back into some of this stuff. Look, I even found pictures of electrodes. It's not hard if you go looking for this stuff. See, think of it like this. You have all this water and it's easy to get. Just the flip of a switch and it's hooked up to your solar panels and you're automatically producing gas. Okay? It's very easy to do. Now, with a gas can, you buy the can, you fill it up, and then you consume the resource. And now you're tied back to the gas. You have to go back to them. Someone else is in control of your independence. Someone else is in control of your energy. You know, what keeps you alive. That's not a good thing. You don't want to have someone else to be in complete control of your energy. You could be cut off completely. Look at the people in Venezuela. They're the biggest gas nation in the world, and they're in the dark. So hydrogen technology is very important. I think people are waking up to see that now. You're in control of your own future and your own destiny. And it's easy to get electricity and water. It's not hard to make a hydrogen fuel cell. For what you spend on this gas can, and you fill it up once or twice and the resource is completely gone, you could have built a water fuel cell that's going to supply you with an endless lifetime of gas, of clean energy. That's another thing, it's clean. It just makes water. You know? Think about that. So you have to think of the octane of HHO. You know, the gas, the octane changes all the time. It's different qualities. Not with HHO gas. It's the same every time you turn it on. It's the same octane every time. It's just something else to think about. You know, consume the resource, or have a bottomless oil well that you can tap into anytime you want, as long as you have electricity. Just something to think about.
One that can see.
He's a tall Caucasian male, doesn't appear armed, wearing sunglasses.
So when you start to dig deeper into all of this, and you can see how important the structure of the water molecule is. It's very important. Just the way it was built and the way it was designed. And you're going to notice all these barges, all these ships, people traveling into the galaxy. You know, you're going to see hydrogen fuel cells, people carrying ships and barges, people capturing light, pyramids, people pulling things apart that look like water molecules. I mean, you're going to see stuff like this. This is exactly what I'm talking about here. So I'm trying to show you guys and open your eyes to all this stuff that's going on with electrolysis and HHO gas and the Egyptians, the pyramids. You know, this isn't just some hobby, man. This is about our freedom, water technology. You know, the world right now runs on oil, runs on gas, hydrocarbons. You know, anything that like this is like taboo, you know. They don't look into endless amounts of energy. So I'm going to show you a little bit about pyramids and how they're used to make immense power structures. They're used in many different ways. And what's important about a tetrahedron is you got to understand tetrahedral, what that means. Okay? It's having the form of a tetrahedron. which has 4 triangular faces and is the primal bond of matter. You got to remember that. And right underneath it, tetrahedron land. According to Julian Barber, the 6D limitless, timeless, eternal world of tetrahedrons. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to show you a little bit more about light, why you see so many pyramids. So you got to know who Carl Munck is. I'm going to show you who Carl Munck is, and he's going to show you how to decode these pyramids that are all around the planet. And once you get the hang of it, it's real easy. It's simple math. You're going to understand some of all this. That's the secret to my pulsar. I'm able to turn mass directly into energy, into photon energy and light using H2O gas. That flame is so hot, 5,100 degrees, whether you use a piece of limestone, a rock, or a piece of a catalytic converter, you can create that in very tense light and create your own photons. But water technology is what it's all about here, guys. And make absolutely sure that you check out Carl Munck, The Code. Okay, you're gonna find this here on YouTube. There's the channel, and if you check that out, you'll see what I'm talking about. It kind of backs up what I'm talking about and helps you guys out to understand and help you see a little bit about the pyramids and the ancient civilizations. And be sure to check out Brien Forrester's channel. Really good stuff on Egypt and the past, history of the world. So don't miss out on that, Brien Forrester. Really good stuff. So the ancients knew with conventional fuels, they didn't even have conventional fuels, you know. It's not like they had an oil well they could go to or some uranium reactor. They didn't have anything like that. So their chances of doing it would have to be with water. That would be one of their main sources of energy. You know, you must have hydrogen like NASA. You know, you don't see NASA going to the moon on gasoline. Think about that now. They use water. They have very advanced hydrogen technology. Okay? So H2O has come a long way with us in the history. I hope this helps you understand it. Its connection to our universe. You know, it's the fuel that is going to set us free spiritually. It's also going to give us the ability to travel to the stars. We're going to do just like they did in the past. You'll be able to build cities, ice sculptures and planets and just about anything with this amazing gas. It's this absolutely amazing fuel that just turns into water when you burn it. So you got to remember that. It's obvious to anyone with eyes that sees what's going on here. You know, so I think sometimes we're getting huge lies in the world. Well, sure we are. You know, they're being told by the mainstream, the oil and the nuclear industries, and a lot of other people. They're really full of shit. It's all about, you know, guys, it's all about power and control. Well, you know, water has been the secret all along. You know, water was the secret all along. You know, it's been hidden from us. You know, past ancient civilizations, they left clues literally in stone. You just have to know where to look. So I hope you enjoyed this video. You have to check out Brien Forrester, you know, Carl Munck. You know, there's a lot of good channels out there. There's a lot of different stuff. People saying the same thing. You know, it's getting very obvious to us. You know, it's not like, you know, think about it. They went to the moon 100 years ago, and this technology, you know, we don't even have a toaster at Walmart that runs on hydrogen or a marshmallow cooking machine. I mean, come on, really? Just wanted you guys to see some of this stuff, you know. It has a lot to do with what's going on here with the star, okay? So when you oscillate the electrons and they jump in their outer orbitals and they fall back down, they release electromagnetic waves as energy, okay? It's very important. And the water is where I'm getting the energy. And of course you need DC voltage to make all this happen. But the thing here is, you know, to make this really work, guys, I want to remind everyone that the best way to get the fuel from the water and the H2O gas is with love. Because of course you need the DC square wave electricity to do all this. But you need the electricity and you all have to work together. Everybody on Earth's got to work together to get the DC square wave to do all this. I mean, you can do it all on your own, but imagine if people were sharing and giving and caring, you know? Imagine all of us in harmony with nature, dude. I'm just saying, guys, the water's It's the best fuel in the world.